Hello everyone, and welcome once again to my next blog post. My name is Alan Shisco. I'm a motion graphics artist. Alright, today I'm going to show you just a couple little quick tech tips. Often when you're working in After Effects, you're going to find that it can be sort of difficult to visualize exactly what the heck you're doing and where the heck you are if you're in 3D space. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in your composition window that sometimes you don't want to be there because it makes it really difficult to see the composition that you're actually working on. Let's take a look at this composition. Quite a fairly complicated composition. I've got a lot of layers in here. They're all 3D layers. There's all sorts of stuff right here. And if I look at my composition and I'm looking at it with a bit of an eye, just to see how the whole, the big picture. I'm trying to see the forest for the trees here. I want to see how it looks to my eye, and I can look at that, and that's fine. I can see it okay. But then you look a little closer and you got these little red boxes here. Those are nulls. Okay, there's one right there. And they're, for some reason, I don't know why, they're always there in your composition once you add them, and there they are. Now, it gets a little more complicated, of course, when you start selecting layers, Then you start getting all your, if it's 3D composition, all these little direction doodads, the X, Y, Z coordinate things, and all that kind of stuff. And watch this. When I select all my layers, just for kicks, look at all that. That's starting to get really confusing, and you can't really sort of, see, what's going on there. Okay, and if you think that was bad, let's zoom out a little bit, and we'll see what it looks. Holy crow, look at that. All I did is I hit my comma key there because I wanted to zoom back a little bit. I'm now viewing at 50% size, and look at all that stuff all over the place. Now, if I were to look at this and try and just get like a view of what the composition itself looks like, it's going to be rather difficult to see. So here's where today's tech tip comes into play. Now, let's say you've got a bunch of layers selected, or even just one or two. You're going to have all these directional things here. There's a couple of things you can do so that you can visualize it really quickly without all the doodads here. Tip number one: keyboard shortcut. I love keyboard shortcuts. When you want to get rid of everything except for the visuality of the image that you're looking at, you hold down your Control key, you hold down your Shift key, and you want to, what do you want to do? You want to hide everything. So that suggests, what happens if I do Control Shift H? Yes, there we go. So if I do that, then you can see now we've got a really nice, clean view of everything we're working on. So we can, just sort of get an idea of what the actual composition looks like that we're working on. So, of course, you also have to remember that you have to Control Shift H to bring everything back. And if you're going to be sharing this composition with some other coworkers, you probably want to make sure that you don't have your Control Shift H on, because when they go to grab stuff and move it, they're going to be looking at it and going, well, I've got the layer selected. Where is everything? Anyway, there you go. So another thing you can do, and this is what I often do, is when I've got everything selected, if I don't want to do the Ninja keyboard shortcut, Control Shift H, I'm just going to get rid of one key. I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to hit F8. And when you do that, what you do is you take a snapshot of your composition here. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Listen closely, and you should be able to see hear the little snapshot sound here. There we go. And once I take a snapshot, Shift F8 is taking a snapshot, then all I have to do is take my finger off the Shift key and hold down F8. F8. Look at that. Let go of F8. It's all there. F8. It's gone. F8, 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 F8. That'll allow you to toggle back and forth between having all of your helpers and your bounding boxes and all that stuff, and not. So that's another quick way to do it. If I'm working along, I'll be working, and I'll just do Shift F8 and then hit the F8 key. It takes no time at all to do. So there you go. That's another way to do it if you don't want to do the hide option. Now, that brings up another point. What about this snapshot thing? Is there anything more we can do with that? And the answer is yes. I've got just a quick little hue saturation adjustment layer at the very top of my composition here. And it's not just Shift F8 to take snapshots. You can do Shift F5, F6, F7, and F8, and you can put 4 different images into your into your cache so that you can view them all independently. So let's say I've got a client hanging over my shoulder and they want to see a bunch of different variations on our composition here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to do, let's say Shift F5. I'm going to take my first one here. That's going to take a picture of our composition as it is right now, unadulterated. Then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change the hue saturation here a little bit, and we'll just sort of make it a green. I'm going to do Shift F6. And then I'm going to go drag it a little bit more, make it sort of really green, Shift F7, and I'll drag it even more to get to make everything sort of, well, magenta or purple, I guess that would be. Shift F8. Then at this point, all we have to do is if we want to view all of them, as we start off, I just hold down the F5 key. There's our first one. Let's see what it looks like with the second version. Yeah, F6, F7, F8, and you can go back and forth between all your versions just like that, just by clicking and holding. And if you've got a client looking over your shoulder, they can look at that, and of course they're seeing it without all the helpers and the doodads and such. You can make a pretty good and pretty quick decisions, creative decisions, and you've got 4 options to create stuff. So there you go. That's the tech tip of the day, taking snapshots and how to see the forest for the trees. I hope that was helpful, and I'll talk to you again next time. Thanks.